Hello students, this is your course on content marketing. In this video on developing relevant content, we are going to talk about brainstorming content ideas. Now, in the previous video, we talked about how you can research the market, how you can research your industry, your competitors, ask questions to your customers, and perhaps join niche communities to figure out what exactly is trending, what exactly is missing, and what kind of content you can produce, which could be of relevance to your customers. Once you have a broad idea about the topics which are important, which are meaningful, which are of interest to your target audience, the next step is giving shape to these topics and come up with an actual structure of what kind of topics you would be addressing, and to be precise, specifically define these topics so that you can then understand the main content body to be generated as per the format that you will select. And this is something which can be done through brainstorming. Brainstorming can be an individual or team activity for the content marketing function, and depending upon the team strength, whether you are a single person army or whether you have a team of writers, designers working under the content marketing function, it could be done in a collaborative manner or as an independent activity. The process usually entails preparing an inventory of old ideas already converted into content, if any exists, which means that you have to study your website, already existing value adding resources which are perhaps available on the website. If your company has social media presence, then studying the kind of posts that have already been uploaded, looking back to the blog, your YouTube channel, and any other kind of resource which exists within the organization to figure out what kind of value you have already created for your customers. Then you compile the insights which you have generated from your research of search engine platforms, of your industry, of your competitors, of the niche communities, and of the insights provided to you by directly by your customers, and you compare both what you have already produced and what the market is demanding to identify gaps and content opportunities. Now you have to determine priority or hierarchy of importance for content to be produced. For instance, while studying the automotive industry, let's say, you figure out that your previous content published is focusing mostly on your products, your services, and there is less information on industry trends, which is in high demand in the market, and you figured that out by interacting with your customers or simply by checking the search engine trends. So that gives you an idea that there exists an opportunity of talking about industry trends. And now you have to create a priority or order in which you will produce what kind of content. So, talking about industry trends would obviously take the top priority. The next in line can be reviews of products of your company as well as that of your competitors. And next could be reviews or status updates, product updates for various products and sub products, sub assemblies which your company may be offering, thereby creating a holistic content communication for your customers, making them feel like you're producing content which is of interest to them. At the same time, you're listening to their input and their feedback and incorporating that into your future content strategy. Then you have to start preparing a repository of new content ideas and plotting in content calendar aligned with niche and keywords of importance. So if now you can recall back to what we discussed in chapter 3, when you are figuring out the topic niche, the domain in which you will be producing content, you cannot really deviate from that while researching and brainstorming. It's within that macro sphere that you have to conduct your research, and you have to figure out relatable and relevant topics in on which you can produce content. Now, when you are coming up with these topics, you also have to keep in mind that certain keywords have to be aligned with each topic, using which you will be driving traffic to your website, you will be promoting your content format. So, all of these things now have to come together on your content calendar. You will have a specific content idea, which would be defined into a topic. You would select the content format in which that particular topic will be converted into content, and you would be defining the keywords which would be captured in that particular content, which would be used for the distribution and promotion and searchability of that particular content. So it's a complex process, but once done properly, this is the level of planning that can give a lot of power and a lot of impetus to your content marketing strategy. Brainstorming can be done through introspect, team discussions, and wildly popular strategy or practice nowadays, which is called mind mapping. It is nothing but a visual way of plotting ideas which are related to a central theme. So, here's an example of a mind map which can be produced after brainstorming. So, let's say a company is trying to come up with ideas for a hotel website, and the content marketer is trying to identify the main topics and subtopics which need to be produced for populating the website and for driving relevant traffic to the website. So, for a hotel website, what matters is locality. What matters is specific to the hotel. What is its history? Who is the staff? Are there any development updates? Are there any offers? Then, for business clients, is there a specific approach? For leisure clients, is there any specific approach? And which means that you are actually segregating content on the basis of market segments that you're dealing with. Then, are there any traveler tips that you can help your target customers with whenever they're making a trip to your hotel? So these are selected as the broad topics under which content has to be created. Within these topics, then within these broad topics, then defined specific heads or defined specific topics can be generated. For instance, in case of locality, it can be 18 things to do in Northampton this weekend. And furthermore, allocation can be made that who will take care of this content. In this case, this is the team member Lindsay who has been allocated. This kind of mind map gives you an idea of the hierarchy of the flow within which a topic is evolving and how it gets connected to the central theme or niche around which your blog or around which your website is developed. If you take a look at the hotel specific line of thought, the website is a hotel website. Within that hotel website, hotel specific information is a category that content is required. Within that, the history of the hotel is one subcategory that is identified, which can be developed. And in that, how the Smith family fell in love with this hotel is something which has to be developed as a content. So you understand that this is something which can lead you to generate more branches of topics and subtopics around the central niche domain, around the central niche topic, and can be a source of numerous potential topics. And therefore, this is a type of practice which is becoming very popular with content marketers, and there are even tools available that can help you come up with mind maps just by inputting some key terminologies which are relevant to your particular topic niche. And I've deliberately chosen a very simple example of a mind map. More complex versions exist which are generated by software and not just mechanical or manually generated. And this could be a very helpful tool for brainstorming and coming up with specific titles, specific way in which you want to produce content in the future. and can actually lead to development of a very informative content calendar. So that's about brainstorming. Next up, we'll talk about using content research, some of which I just briefly mentioned that could be of help when trying to come up with relevant topics. Until then, thank you.